Booktube, it's Stephanie, and today I'm going to share with you my November haul, and these books will not count for my goal. At least not this stack. So the amount of books that I purchased in November was quite a lot, and there is one stack that stands right next to me that I will not count for my goal, because these are books that I have been after purchasing for many years. Amongst them, like, I think the last book of these came out 15 years ago, and I have wanted these covers, which is why it's taken so long. And that secondhand store that I talked about a couple of hauls ago, yeah, they had all of these and was selling them in a bundle. I needed them, you know. I definitely did. So yeah, I will still share them here, but I've already read them and I'm getting them to fulfill, like, just put them on my David Eddings shelf, because they are by David and Lee Eddings. So for basically all of them, I will just go through the English titles and maybe translate because I do think some of them have been split up in 2 books here in Sweden. So yeah, the first one being Domes of Fire, The Shining Ones, and The Hidden City. Then we have a duology here in Sweden. This is The Redemption of Attalus. We have The Chosen One, and then we have The Knife's Song. Then we have The Dreamers Quartet, and we have Older Gods, The Treasured One, and they accidentally did this. I will get a discount next time I order from them. And then we have The Crystal Gorge and Younger Gods. And then we have Polgara the Sorceress, split up in 2 books. We have Belgarat's Daughter, and I have no idea what that title is in English. I am so sorry, so I'm just going to say The Duchess of Erat. And then we have The Riven Codex. And the last 3 books, which is the trilogy that comes before the first 3 books that I showed you, The Diamond Throne, The Ruby Knight, and The Sapphire Rose. Yay, I got them! I have looked for these books for ages. I do now have some double ups. I already had Domes of Fire in Swedish and the 2 The Redemption of Attalus books, again in Swedish, but they were in paperback and pretty beaten up. So yeah, things will go to charity, and then now I just need the English titles of these books, because yes, I do need them. Oh, and I also had already 3 of these books. Whatever, I've got them, I'm gonna love them, and I need to reread all of them. And no, I will not do what I did the first time I read these books, which is start with Domes of Fire. That was my first David Eddings book. Don't do that. You will be really frustrated when rereading the first trilogy, because you're like, no, don't do that. And you will feel sympathy for people you're not supposed to feel sympathy for. Reality. That was weird. But yeah, those books will not count for my purchasing goal thing, because I've been looking for them. Well, most of them. So now let's go to the books that actually will count for this. All of them should count, but they do not, because I say so. My game, my rules. Or my goal, my rule, I guess. So the first I will talk about the 2 ebooks I got. I got Age of Deception, which is the sequel to Rules of Redemption, and I got both of those this month. They are by T.A. White, and we are following a woman who used to be part of the army, She quit after the end of the war and is now salvaging other spaceships. Her ship breaks down and she needs to get to a space station. There she saves 2 kids, and it turns out that she's not human, and things fall on from there with some subtle blackmailing that's not as subtle as they probably should have been, and then yeah, things like that. It's hard to explain, at least for me, because this is not a review, this is not my wrap up, but I can say one thing: space elves. It's a very if you're more used to fantasy, this is very friendly to you if you want to try some science fiction, because it still has a lot of those elements, but it is sci-fi. We are talking, I can't say too much because it's really fun when you're reading it and you know a lot of fantasy and you just go, oh, that's a thing. I really enjoyed the first book, and I am looking forward to continue on with it. Probably not now in December, but after the New Year's. So let's go on to the physical books I have. The first one is a manga, and that is By the Grace of the Gods, Volume 1, story by Roy and art by Ran. This is following a boy who, well, it starts off in our world with a middle-aged man who works really hard, is very dedicated and loyal. He dies in his sleep, and when he wakes up, so to speak, there are 3 gods who talk to him because their world is dying. Their world is dependent on magic, but the magic is running out, and they would like to use magic from Earth because we don't use it. We have no use for it. But to do that, they need to bring someone from that world to their world, and they are offering this chance to him. And he then gets reincarnated into a boy, having a middle-aged man's knowledge and things like that. And he turns to be, and he works as a slime researcher. This is the introduction. That's the introduction, and yeah, he saves some people and it goes from there. I don't really want to say more. I adore this. I thought it was, I usually don't finish mangas in one sitting, but the only reason why this is over the course of 2 days is because I had to sleep, because I started this like just before midnight and I needed to sleep, and then I finished it immediately when I got up. I have actually started a subscription for this series because the next book is not coming out until March, which I'm really sad about. And then to the one book that I would actually argue was pretty stupid of me. I should not have gotten this because I have not read the first book, and I bought the first one a couple of months ago, and that is The Alchemist Who Survived Now Dreams of a Quiet City Life #2 by Osata Nobuhara. I should not have bought this. This series, well, the first book's synopsis, I have not looked at the synopsis for this because it's a sequel. We are following a girl who's an alchemist, and when her village was attacked, she put herself in suspended sleep, but something went wrong and she woke up 200 years afterwards, and then it turns out that she's the only alchemist in the entire kingdom, and she would rather live like a normal city life and just be one of all the other alchemists that she used to be, but she's the only one. I have no idea what this one will go because I have not read the first one, because of course I haven't. And then we have my Illumi Great book. This is the Illumi Great book for October, and that is The Invisible Life of Ada LaRue by V. Schwab. This is following a woman who struck a deal with the devil about, or a demon, for eternal life, but the cost is that no one will remember her when she leaves the room. However, a couple of 100 years later, she enters a bookstore and there's someone who remembers her. I have no idea what else. This has gotten a lot of buzz. A lot of people have enjoyed this. So yeah, we'll see what I think about it. I was intrigued by this, and can I just say how stunning this cover is? I have to say I really like the silver and black and the blackened glossy pages. Graphite, I think it's called, or I've heard people talk about. This looks stunning, and yeah, I definitely need to get to this, and it's signed, which is also really fun. So yeah, we'll see when I'll get to this, because yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about it and I am looking forward to it, and this is one of those books I would probably have picked up myself. I'm unsure if I would have requested from the library or bought it myself though. And as soon as I said that, I think I would have just requested from the library. But yeah, I own it and I'm not at all upset that I do. So yeah, those are the books that I got in November. Did you get anything in November? Please tell me down below, and I will see you next time. Bye.